Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Crimzon Clover. This one's episode 3, and let's jump straight in. Actually, no, before we jump in, I have actually looked at the thing about continues now, and apparently Crimzon Clover contains infinite continues, but whenever you use a continue, your score gets reset. So it is more of a score challenge thing, but there's nothing to stop you just breezing effortlessly to the end of the game. Now, considering I'm not really a score collecting person, there would be nothing about that would put me off, so it's just kind of, hold down the A button and breeze to the end of the game. Doesn't really interest me. So, I'm going to cap myself at, let's say for now, 2 continues. I'll try and notice whenever I use a continue and hopefully cap myself at 2. It would be nice to be able to set it. Set your chosen number of continues, but no, you can't do that. So we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, pen and paper. Well, mental pen and paper, I suppose. That is mental pen and mental paper, not a mental pen and physical paper, because that would be extremely difficult to write with terrible handwriting. Let's start. So we're going with arcade mode again. Still not really clear on what boost mode is. Game changes based on your skill. I mean, maybe that would actually be worth trying out. But we won't try it today. No, you know what? What the hell? Let's do it now. Since we haven't tried type... Ooh, speed but narrow attack width. Let's not do that. Let's go type 1. Boost mode tutorial. Okay. Well, I imagine, yeah, the actual gameplay is going to be pretty similar. But if it's variable difficulty, I mean, this seems to me like it might be a good way to play. But then again, variable difficulty kind of doesn't make sense if you have an infinite number of continues. So it's an interesting idea, and we'll see how it goes as we go along. Let's skip the rest of the tutorial. I imagine it's much the same. And although this launching out of a sub thing is quite nice, let's skip that as well. Just get straight into the gameplay. Alright. Here we go. Incidentally, I didn't notice that we had a variable shot width with the Type 2 craft in the last episode. It says you do, but I actually didn't notice that. So if anyone did notice it, let me know. Or let me know if I'm wrong about the meaning of it having changeable shot width. Maybe I'm completely misunderstanding what it's describing there. Okay. So far so okay, but I do feel like it's getting out of hand a little bit already. But again, it's said the game should adjust to our level of skill as we go along. I'm still going to limit myself to 2 continues, but we might actually get further with those 2 continues than we would in the core game. Whether we'll continue playing boost mode... Oh, automatic triggered brake mode. Sometimes that happens. I'm not sure why. I think it's maybe if you fill the brake meter twice, it triggers automatically, but I'm not certain that's what it is. Anyway, I'm not sure whether we'll continue playing boost mode in future, or whether we'll go back to the standard mode. I imagine we'll probably go back to standard, but we'll see how boost goes. One of the things I like so far, this does seem a little easier than arcade so far. Not arcade, but sort of the original mode. One of the things I like about Crimzon Clover, in my limited time playing it so far, and this break mode is lasting for ages, is that it doesn't have anything to do with power-ups, really. You get some small pickups after a boss, but it's not like you pick up weapons as you go along and then, let's use that, clear those turrets out to some extent. Yeah, it's not like you pick up new weapons as you go along, and when you die you lose those weapons and then you just really can't compete anymore. That happens in a lot of bullet hells, or at least old-fashioned 2D scrolling shmups tend to do that. And that makes it pretty difficult, because you kind of go, well, I've died, I've lost all my power-ups, I might as well just start over from the beginning. But you don't get that in Crimzon Clover, because it's not about power-ups, it's about skill and practice. And that I actually saw the laser coming for once. And that is one of the reasons that Battlefield 1943 remains my favourite Battlefield game, even though it's a 5-year-old console game now. Because it didn't have unlocks, it didn't have perks, it didn't have acquirable weapons or anything like that. Everyone had access to the same 3 character classes. The character classes were equipped the same way, regardless of who you are, and it meant that the whole thing was about skill, about learning the game, about learning your way around the maps, and so on. And I feel like Crimzon Clover is kind of similar in that respect. Obviously it's not a directly competitive PvP kind of game, but because there are no... because there are no weapon drops, your entire performance is based on your skill and not whether or not you got shafted by dropping a particular pickup. Okay, I'm going to take the E. Don't know what it is, but it made me sound like I was living in 1994. Alright. So, it looks like our brake meter's full. I don't know whether that'll carry over to the next level. We'll soon see. Yes, apparently so. Our bomb's ready. Brake mode isn't yet, but it will be soon. There it is. Hello, brake mode. Yeah. So apparently brake mode just automatically triggers when the meter fills up. That's interesting. I didn't think that was how it worked. Or maybe that's a feature of boost mode. I don't know. There's a lot... Basically, the game doesn't explain very much at all, so most of it is stuff you have to learn for yourself. Wow. The tutorial describes this radar attack as an extra powerful attack, but to me it feels, if anything, weaker than the standard attack. Yeah. Can you see why I have difficulty following my hitbox sometimes? Because with all this crap, with all this clutter on the screen, it's pretty hard distinguishing one tiny glimmering dot. That's not a complaint, but it does mean that the precision movers are very, very difficult at times. Bomb. I felt a little overwhelmed there, so it seemed like a good time to use a bomb. It's a shame that that pulls me a bit away from brake mode, but bomb... Well, I thought I was going to be blown to bits there as I got hemmed into the corner. Although holding on for brake mode seems to be the best idea when possible, I think at times you just have to suck it up and use the bomb. So relying pretty heavily on the radar attack here, watching my hitbox intently, as much as I can anyway. If you're not familiar with shmups, I mean I'm not very experienced with them, but if you're not remotely familiar with this kind of game, shots tend to, in many of these games, pass through what would appear to be your ship, basically the graphic of your ship. And there's just one place, one dot or one mark or one box or something on your ship or character or whatever that marks the one piece that can actually be damaged, that can actually get you killed if it's hit. That's your hitbox, really. Okay. This boss isn't troubling me too much, certainly less than it did in the previous episode, which I suppose is... I'd like to imagine it's because I've got better at the game, but in fact it's probably just the adjustable difficulty of boost mode in action. I mean, by this point in the last episode we'd used, what, a couple of continues at least? We haven't this time. So I think in boost mode I'm actually going to stick to one continue. Or rather, no continues, if I can word it that way. I think once we get to the point of losing all our lives and needing to continue, I'll call it a day, because we're actually getting further. Right on cue. We're actually getting further in boost mode than we do in arcade mode. So anyway, thanks for watching. Boost mode definitely seems to be easier for me, because I'm bad. But I wonder if it would actually make the game harder than standard mode, if you were good at it. I assume it probably would. But anyway, thanks for watching Crimzon Clover again. Rejoin me next time, we'll do some more shooting, some more exploding, and I don't know yet whether we'll go with boost mode or standard, but we'll see how I feel on the day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.